Here we presents the top 5 best solid-state drive. Starting of our listed number 5. Samsung 860 Pro. SATA 3 might not be the hottest SSD tech in the world anymore, but with the Samsung 860 Pro, Samsung shows that there is life in the aging form factor after all. Offering storage of up to 4 TB and transfer speeds that approach the theoretical maximum of the SATA 3 connection and top-of-the-line reliability and security, the Samsung 860 Pro is the best SSD for anyone still clinging onto SATA 3. With modern solid-state drives practically flooding the bandwidth cap of SATA III, we didn't think anyone could improve on this field any further. Leave it to Samsung to break new ground more with the secure and incredibly dependable 860 Pro SSD. Because of the limitations of SATA III, there just isn't much of a speed increase to warrant an upgrade or purchase of this drive over Samsung's last generation SSDs, which will more than likely be more affordable in the coming months. For more information and price, check out the product links and description underneath the video. Coming in at number 4 of our list. Samsung 970 Pro series. For years, Samsung has been behind some of the best SSDs on the market, and even though other manufacturers like Western Digital and Adata are creeping up on its turf, the Samsung 970 EVO is still the best SSD you can buy if you're after raw speed. And, while the read speeds haven't improved over the previous generation's 960 Pro, the write speeds see a significant bump, up to 2700 MBS, which is how it retains its fastest SSD crown. If you're after the best SSD, with no compromises, you can't go wrong with the Samsung 970 Pro. The Samsung Pro line has remained as the unchallenged king of solid-state drives for the last few years. But recent contenders, like the WD Black and MED SSD, have proven that Samsung can't sit on its laurels anymore. So, the company has delivered its fastest consumer drive ever, the Samsung 970 Pro. The Samsung 970 Pro retains its crown as the king of solid-state drives, but it's a title being challenged by even Samsung's own products. Samsung has become its own worst enemy by making the 970 EVO so much better, to the point where it barely lags behind the 970 Pro. Meanwhile, the WD Black and MED SSD outshines Samsung's flagship drive even though it's batting for league under the 970 Pro. Halfway of our listed number 3. XPG SX 8200 240 GB. If you've been waiting to jump on the M2 train for an SSD that's both fast and affordable, we have some good news for you. The Adata XPG SX 8200 isn't one of the best SSDs because it's the fastest drive on the market, but because there isn't a single drive out there that can match the raw price to performance ratio that the XPG SX 8200 offers. Sure, you can get any of the much faster, much more expensive SSDs on the market, but this is the drive we can recommend to anyone. Now, the XPG SX 8200 won't match these two higher-end drives in benchmarks, with sequential read-write speeds of 3060 MBS and 1765 MBS respectively. Comparatively, the WD Black comes in with speeds of 3484 MBS read and an impressive 2853 MBS write. This would put the XPG SX 8200 about 12% and 29% in read and write speeds, respectively. Meanwhile, the Samsung 970 EVO boasts a read speed of 3562 MBS and a 2511 MBS write. The tech behind the XPG SX 8200 won't exactly blow your mind, but it still gets the job done. It uses the Silicon Motion SM2262 controller paired with second-generation 64-layer 3D NAND TLC flash. This lets the drive deliver fantastic performance, capacity and power efficiency while keeping the price low. This is the same technology behind the Intel 760p, but because of the XPG SX 8200's increased SLC caching, you'll get better performance, at a much lower price. Number 2 of this list. WD Black 250 GB. When you're playing the best PC games, there's nothing worse than having the action stop for a load screen. Luckily, With the WD Black NVMe SSD, you can basically say goodbye to long loading screens forever, as this drive absolutely blows the pants off of every other SSD in its price range. At just under $300 you won't find a faster drive that will last as long as the WD Black NVMe SSD. We can say without a doubt that this is the best SSD for gaming. Trust us on this one. For better or worse, Samsung has been the undisputed leader in the solid-state drive world with the fastest NVMe drives. While many have tried to dethrone the South Korean electronics firm's undisputed lead, just as many have failed to deliver the same level of speed. For example, if you were to move a mass of photos, the drive would first attempt to move as much data using its dedicated SLC blocks because they're designed for burst workloads such as this. Any spillover would move over to the slower, read-focused TLC NAND. At the same time, the drive will also use the SLC blocks whenever possible to move data faster through an aggressive evacuation policy. And coming in at number 1 of our list, Samsung MZ V7250BW970. For the last few years, Samsung's Evo family of NVMe solid-state drives have been ranked as the best SSD by us and many other publications in the industry. Though these drives have never been the fastest, they're hardly the most expensive, putting them in a middle ground for flash storage that's 5 times faster than a typical SATA drive while still being affordable. 3 years and an equal number of iterations later, the Samsung 970 EVO continues to hold on to that crown yet again. With vastly quicker sequential write speeds, this is incredibly fast nevertheless even compared to most modern NVMe drives. Though it doesn't feature a fancy heatsink, like the Adata Gamix S11, Samsung does include dynamic thermal guard technology to safeguard against overheating. The built-in hardware feature automatically monitors and maintains optimal operating temperatures, while a heat spreader and new nickel-coated controller further lower the SSD temperatures. For more information and price, check out the product links and description underneath the video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel, share this video and hit the like button.